men with girlfriends, why do you guys have to like other girls' pictures on Instagram?
Girls with boyfriends, why do you have to post half-naked pictures of yourself on Instagram?
How freaking hard is it to just scroll?
How freaking hard is it to keep those type of pictures private in your photo gallery?
She's so pretty. Admire her, sure.
Admire yourself, sure, but just don't post it publicly.
Is it worth hurting someone you love over something as meaningless as Instagram pictures?
Is it worth hurting someone you love over something as meaningless as Instagram likes?
That's a boundary that your girlfriend is setting, then why not just respect it?
If that's a boundary your boyfriend is setting, then why not just respect it?
Let them know we are not too needy or sensitive or insecure for having standards.
Let them know we are not too needy or sensitive or insecure for having standards. That's so tough.
Big, 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 big. Very big.
Oh, hold on, I need it. Wow, what a beautiful view this is. Well, you've got people. Really?
You shall not pass!
Clear, what are you?
Prime.
You're prime?
Top notch.
What makes you prime, top notch, Wu-Tang?
I mean, I have everything that you could possibly ask for as far as brains, beauty, ambition. I would build my man up to be everything he wants to be in this world. I'm the best investment he would ever make in his life. And my shit's exclusive. I've invested in my body. I have a $150,000 body. No one barely touches me. Yes, you can see me on Instagram because I'm paid to do that, but nobody touches me unless a man, yes, does take care of me. I like bosses. I like millionaires. I like someone who's going to mentor me, teach me, and invest in me, and get me to my highest level as well.
And just to be clear, what's a $150,000 body?
4 BBLs, 2 breast technically 5 BBLs, but we're gonna go with 4. 2 breast augmentations, obviously Botox, lip injections, and then I had the fat buckle removed out of my cheeks on my face.
Wow. And how young are you?
28.
28. And what age do you want to get married?
I don't necessarily have a time restraint on myself. I feel like God's gonna, make me cross paths with my future husband when that time is right.
So you comfortable?
I probably have about another 10 million in real estate that I need to develop before that.
People in the comments calling you absolutely delusional right now.
That's
Do you
fine.
realize that?
I don't care.
All that confidence with zero merit talk about a classic case of bluffing. It's wild how guys get roasted for not having a massive social media presence, like that somehow makes them creeps or means their priorities are off. But let's get real for a second. These men have actual lives to live. They're out there holding down jobs, diving into hobbies, and maintaining friendships that actually matter. Meanwhile, modern women are busy chasing that fleeting sense of online validation like it's the holy grail. And speaking of chasing, let's talk about the LonelyFans pandemic. You've got thousands of women lining up to bear it all on the internet, thinking they're hitting the jackpot of independence. They genuinely believe they're part of some gold rush. But here's the kicker, it's fool's gold. They're out there trying to sell their so-called empowerment while clinging to the fantasy that they're cashing in big. Spoiler alert, the pot of gold at the end of this rainbow is empty, and they're left spinning in circles, trying to fill a void that just keeps getting bigger. It's like watching someone chase their own tail, exhausting and pointless. But they just don't see it. And all the while, they're giving up what really matters, all for a few likes and the illusion of power. If they're not careful, they'll wake up one day to realize they've traded in their self-respect for some internet clout and a bank account that's looking emptier by the day.
It's one thing a guy can do that will instantly make him more attractive.
More attractive?
More attractive.
Don't show interest in me.
I beg your pardon?
Don't show interest.
Don't show interest.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a toxic guy.
We must stay focused, brothers.
Couldn't have said it better myself. More men are waking up, working multiple jobs, stacking that cash, and focusing on the real prize, the one that actually has proven returns. It's all about playing the long game, and that's what we're here to assess today. That kind of logic? Absolute kryptonite for women in modern society. It doesn't matter if it's basic math or figuring out what truly makes someone valuable, they're just not wired to make those kinds of real changes anymore. Instead, they chase quick fixes and instant gratification, while men who know the score are out there building something real. And that's where the difference lies. Men are playing chess while these women are stuck on checkers, and they're not even winning at that.
If Jesus
can't save these hoes. Why are you trying?
Absolutely, it's a wild scene out there. For those in the MGTOW crew, it's clear as day classic values are still golden. Meanwhile, you've got these modern women out here acting like posting their body count is some kind of power move. As if sharing their intimate numbers is going to magically make them the ideal long-term partner. But let's be real, if your body count looks like a guest list for a high school reunion, don't be surprised if you end up with a solo ticket to the Forever Alone Club. It's a classic case of you made your bed, now lie in it. If someone's idea of empowerment is broadcasting their bedroom escapades to the world, then they've missed the memo on what actually builds meaningful relationships. It's almost as if they're shocked when their life choices lead to exactly the outcomes everyone predicted. Who could have seen that coming?
Through high school, went to a club one night, and our luck somehow ended up with like meeting Wyclef and Lil Wayne, and she just turned the whole life. And I remember I was so broke, and she was living in like a condo in Miami. We were in our early 20s, and I was visiting her coming from school, and she gave up school, sleeping with everybody, Drake, but she was living in like, imagine I'm like 20 years old, and I was 19, I think, and she was living, it just looked like she had so much, And
where's she at now?
Well, I'm gonna update you on her story real quick, right? And she was so innocent, but then she just was effing everybody, and every rapper was paying for her. And I remember vividly crying on the phone with my friend named Devin, and I was just like, it's so unfair. She has everything. And it's like, if only I just slept with this guy, like I could have everything that he has. And he said, Candace, if you think that in 10 years your life is not going to be better than hers, you're out of your mind. Just promise you, stop being friends with her. After I just couldn't look at her do this to her life anymore. And 10 years later, almost to the day, I was with Charlie Kirk. We walked into the Four Seasons Hotel in Los Angeles, and she was the hostess.
Wow, working.
Wow.
Karma's a bitch, Karma.
If you had 15 minutes with me alone at Coachella, what would we do?
Well, probably first step, not be alone. I'd probably go try to find like all the other 100,000 people at Coachella and pick quite literally anybody else there. Like, literally anybody else in the crowd.
Then me. Do you know who the f*** I am?
Yeah, you're that like pink girl who uses her brother for their
You're such a piece of dude.
He's rational. Calculating, even he saw the situation, weighed his options, and made a smart move. That's the kind of strategic thinking you'd expect from a man who knows what he wants and how to get it. Now, compare that to the chaotic game plan we see with modern women today. These chicks are all about that quick, fast cash mentality, chasing after the escort-driven bag as if it's the golden ticket to happiness. But here's the plot twist: they suddenly realize that their behavior doesn't fly with the average guy, let alone the rich ones they're dreaming of. That's when the mental implosion happens. They're left staring at a reality they can't comprehend, a world where doing everything the woke mob told them to do has led them straight to a dead end. They can't wrap their heads around it because they thought they were playing the game right, only to be kicked to the curb when even the simps start wising up. It's almost tragic, like watching someone realize too late that they've been sold a faulty dream. They were convinced they could have it all without putting in the real work, and now they're stuck wondering where it all went wrong. Meanwhile, the men who took the time to think ahead, to plan and to act with intention, they're already 10 steps ahead, living their best lives, while these women are left picking up the pieces of a strategy that was doomed from the start.
I just came to the realization why I'm single. Every guy that I'm like, oh yeah, he's attractive. Okay, this is not supposed to be offensive, but I see their wives and they just look like so like, like not like this, just like, like, I pretend my tattoos are gone. Dude, I look crazy. Like, that's why guys don't want to wife me up.
With an upward inflection at the end of every sentence?
Oh, she finally got the memo, or at least the cracked-out version of it. Somewhere in the chaos of modern dating, she and her crew decided that every top-tier guy is secretly craving a woman who's a walking art gallery of tattoos with a body count that's practically a novella. They convinced themselves this was the ultimate mark of wisdom and experience, when in reality it's just a flashing billboard that says, I'm still stuck on the carousel and loving the ride, and here's the kicker, this isn't going to magically fix her behavior. Nope. She's probably going to crank up her problematic personality to 11 and faceplant into the wall of reality with all the grace of a bull in a china shop. It's like watching a soap opera where the plot twists are all bad decisions and the only thing she's gaining is a crash course in the school of hard knocks.
Would you guys cheat for $1,000?
Okay, but how far are we taking it? If I don't like the kid, and I'm just like,
why would you date him in the first place? Why would you be dating
like,
him?
it depends. Like, if I really, really liked him and I knew he'd be heartbroken over me, then I wouldn't.
Then why are you dating someone if you don't really, really like him?
No. Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends on who. Yeah.
Go.
Why not? Anyone would. I know anyone in that comment section.
And loved the church and loved my people and did everything I could to fulfill my leadership calling in the church until I could no longer fit there, where the fullness of who I wasn't welcomed. I was queer. My church didn't accept queer people. And I had these desires to express myself in ways I'd never been able to. And I decided to finally step into the unknown and see where it would lead me. And it's led me here.
Here's the kicker, a story within a story, and it's a tale as old as time. This woman was never the spiritual sanctuary she claimed to be, not even close. See, women don't naturally have a built-in sense of direction. That's why in any functioning society, men are at the helm, steering the ship. It's like trying to sell someone on the idea that there's such a thing as an effective female pastor. It's like saying slapping a wig on a pig suddenly turns it into your prom date. Sure, you might convince yourself of that, but the second you show up at the dance with Porky in a corsage, everyone's going to be horrified. Both these women are living in the illusion that they're on some righteous path, but in reality they've let greed completely overshadow their moral compass. They say one thing, preach it even, but their actions, those tell an entirely different story. They're out here acting like their version of the truth is unshakable, but the joke's on them. The funny part, neither of them will end up making a dime that way. They're too caught up in their own delusions to see that they're just spinning their wheels in the mud. It's a sad state of affairs, but hey, not everyone was meant to lead or to profit for that matter.
Does height matter in a guy? Really? It does matter? Step on the scale.
Wait, who said I'm insecure about my weight?
Are you insecure about your weight? All right, then step on the scale.
I don't know you. This is a weird...
No, it's weird to judge guys based on something they can't change. That's what's weird.
I don't know you. I'm gonna go.
All right.
And here comes the gaslighting extravaganza. Women often act like they have the divine authority to set the height requirements for their perfect guy, conveniently forgetting that this is as arbitrary as choosing which ice cream flavor is the best. Sure, height can have its perks, but expecting everyone to meet your specific criteria while ignoring your own personal quirks, that's where the fun begins. So this guy is taking the internet by storm right now, and it's not hard to see why. His point is crystal clear. If you're going to judge someone based on something they can't control like their height, then you better be ready to be held accountable for the things you can control, like your attitude and behavior. I remember a buddy of mine who had surgery for a brain tumor that messed with how his body processed food. So yeah, there are exceptions, but those are just that, exceptions. Meanwhile, you've got folks ordering up their personal 5-star experiences at PF Chang's like they're royalty, oblivious to the fact that a little humility might be a necessary dose of reality. It's like watching a reality check parade float full of flashy demands and zero self-awareness.
8 times 6.
8 times 6.
Yes, ma'am. 8 times 6, Miss Liz. Huh? Huh?
8 times 6,
92.
92? I'm lit.
Liz.
Nah, don't use that as an excuse.
Liz. 3 times 7.
21.
21, that's great.
21?
7 times 3. Okay, we can't do it. 8 times 5. 8 times 5, honey. 8 times 5? Huh? I want you to know this so bad. No, not 8 times. 8 times 5, sweetheart.
40.
40. There we go.
Future is bright.
Let's get to the crux of the matter, boys. Fast money. It's often said that lottery wins are more of a curse than a blessing, but that's not the real problem here. The real issue is that flashing those quick cash bags to the Western world doesn't magically transform you into a savvy investor or a business mogul. No, all it does is show you've embraced the world's oldest profession to satisfy urges you just couldn't keep in check. Even when these chicks rake in the cash, you won't find a single man losing sleep over it despite all the noise about how much they're making. Why? Because these lonely fans hustlers aren't exactly financial wizards. There's no accountant in sight, no 401,000 growing quietly in the background, no investments in silver, gold, or the SP 500. It's why we have a Warren Buffett, not a Warren Muffet. Spreading it out on an app or any other platform doesn't make you successful. It's a lifestyle choice, and one that's destined to blow up in your face within a decade. Why? Because none of these chicks have the faintest clue about how the market works. They're just riding a wave that's bound to crash, and when it does, they'll be left scrambling, wondering where it all went wrong. But by then, it'll be too late, and the fast money they once flaunted will be nothing more than a distant memory.
Stop saying women's sippy cup.
Women.
Four times four, okay? 4 by 4.
Women.
Oh, she did it the wrong way around. It doesn't matter. It's just... Oh no! Did I just prove the point? Oh, I didn't realize.
The shock factor is real, isn't it? Touch a man's truck with a Sharpie, and you're practically asking for a front row seat to a reality show on how retaliation should be handled. It's like a live-action case study in the law of what were you thinking. These women thought they were pulling off some sort of clever prank, but really it's a masterclass in not understanding basic math or common sense, for that matter. I mean, vandalizing property and then acting surprised when it's met with anger. That's like writing your name in wet cement and expecting it to magically disappear. And then there's the chick who completely missed the point, proving that maybe she should have stayed in 3rd grade a bit longer. It's like they've got a PhD in not learning from their mistakes. Back in the day, this might have been a chuckle-worthy anecdote. But now, with companies like Google and Facebook hiring these folks to write code, it's no wonder there are security breaches left, right, and center. It's almost like we're living in a real-life satire where the punchline is that the people who should be handling sensitive information are the same ones who think graffiti on a truck is a solid career move.
What's one thing you never told your ex? Be honest with it. Be honest too.
I slept with his father.
Gigi.
What's one thing that you never told your ex?
One thing I never told my ex, that I was with her ex. That I was with her ex.
Her ex.
While I was with her. He didn't know about it.
One thing I never told my husband.
That you never told him.
I mean, I told this nigga damn near everything. I told him I cheated on him.
How did you cheat on him? What'd you do?
Well, I cheated on like one of our co-workers because we used to work together.
Damn, so he know the person?
Yeah.
And you still did it?
But that was so old. I mean, honestly, we're still like married.
You never told your ex?
I got with his homeboy after. After I talked to his friends.
You out of pocket.
I think I never told my ex.
Honest.
I wanted his friend.
While you was with him?
Yep.
Damn.
I was emotionally cheating on him. Oh, God. Emotionally.
Pick a project woman. You pick a woman that's fully assembled. Picking a project woman means you got to stop what you're doing and put the pieces together. And putting the pieces together, she will never thank you for putting the pieces together. She will resent you for remembering her when she was broken. Oh shit.
Let's circle back to the representation point, fellas. This is exactly why you cannot. And if you've made it this far, you absolutely will not ever let a woman with a checkered past into your life. The chick in this story laid it all out for you. She tossed her family and friends aside, went broke, and then let the mental hamster wheel spin overtime, convincing herself she's just an artist who hasn't hit the big time yet. Now, when someone's so deep into their own delusions that they think they're right even when they're dead wrong, how in the world are you supposed to fix that? Spoiler alert, you can't. It's impossible. But what you can do is shift your own perspective, focus on bettering yourself, and make sure you're not the one getting sucked into someone else's mess. That's the takeaway here. Value your freedom, man. Keep your eyes open, your standards high, and never compromise just to fill a void. Your peace of mind and your future are worth more than any baggage someone else is dragging around.
We own 50% of the store.
What?
We are 50% invested into this store.
And where you get the money?
That's the part. No.
That's what? What's up?
The money is already okay. The 27,000 that you had.
I know you're not talking about my son money.
Listen, the money is already coming back.
I'm gonna talk to you later.
Listen, come back in here and don't leave in the middle of the store. In the middle of the store.
Never walk away when revenge is warranted, especially when it's something as serious as that. Hypothetically, if anyone did that to my son, there wouldn't be any see you later, just a body bag. I often say that women in the West are extremely greedy, and that's no exaggeration. But let's be real. Some of their thefts aren't just about greed, they're also about sheer lack of brain power. Take this chick, for example. She stole from the guy. but you can see it in her eyes that she genuinely thought this was a logical move. It's almost laughable if it weren't so tragic. There's nothing redeemable about this clip, that's for sure. She's a walking example of someone who's out of touch with reality, and unfortunately she's not a...
Who do you think cooks better, men or women?
Women. Women.
Name a female chef.
My mom.
Your mom. Is she professional?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Sarah.
Who do you think are better cooks, men or women?
Oh my god, women, obviously. Yeah.
Can you name me a professional female chef?
No.
Interesting.
I just kept it to
Haha, glad it gave you a laugh. It's true when you look at the legendary female chefs like Julia Child and Ina Garten, they're practically culinary royalty. But here's the kicker: these women were around before Instagram made avocado toast a thing and before the rise of the foodie trend on social media. Now, the modern kitchen might be more about showing off the latest kitchen gadget or snapping a pic for the gram than actually cooking a decent meal. It's almost like women today are more equipped to handle an iPad than a spatula. The thought of someone mistaking a whisk for a piece of tech is almost too real. It's like the classic kitchen skills are disappearing faster than you can say bon appetit.
Honestly, if I was a man, I would only date single mothers or people or mothers, period. Because
I'm gonna stop you there.
Let me get the explanation to that. I feel like motherhood changed me so much, and although I'm married, I'm not single. My mental, it's not because my mental isn't married. You know what I'm saying? My mental is my mental. So when I tell you, a lot of stuff about me changed. I value myself more. I value my time more. I don't really give my time and my energy to shit that just don't matter, don't equate to nothing. So if I was a man, especially if I was a man that was older in age a little bit, like Pawpaw, I would literally be like, you know what? I want a single woman because a single mom, they know how to get it done. They really be like the grade A people for real. It'd be a single women, them, not us, because I got.
But you gotta be careful.
But when I was
Ah, the single mum strikes again, making headlines in the why logic doesn't apply here section. It's no surprise, really. When you're selling a product that's seen better days, logic often takes a backseat. Take the woman with the nose ring and tattoo, she's got the bedroom experience down, but it's not exactly a golden ticket. Here's the thing, men aren't just impressed by bedroom skills alone. When a woman's got a track record, guys don't just look at the present, they start connecting the dots. They'll wonder, who taught her those moves? What's her backstory? And oh yeah, where's that kid coming from? It's not just about what's happening in the bedroom, it's about the whole package. And let's face it, a kid in the mix adds another layer of complexity that's hard to ignore. So while single mums might think they've got it all figured out with their skill set, men are busy thinking about the full picture, which often includes questioning the entire backstory.
Why you being all dry? I don't like that.
Just throwing me off, right?
I'm not throwing you off. Why you looking away and shit? You about boring as fuck.
I said no. What the hell we doing? Damn.
Alright, I'm gonna just walk away.
What happened though?
I don't know.
You said what?
She too loud?
She ain't come the right way. It's just me.
I walked up. Baby, I ain't even fighting for you, baby, because you too young. Let me give me 5 high five.
Pretty as hell.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Got a lot of hair.
Haha, thanks for the props. And definitely washing those hands after a show like that would be a smart move. You never know what kind of mess you might come into contact with. Always good to keep it clean and stay sharp. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this video, hit that like button, subscribe. And ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment and share this with others. See you in the next video.